Hi, good day everyone. So today we'll be doing May/June 2022. This is the year, right? Number 1. Let's just make this a little bit smaller so I could write. Okay, so let's read the first question. The first question says, using a calculator or otherwise, find the exact value of. Now, if you realize this question is 1 mark and they said using a calculator, so you can use a scientific calculator. So how we will be doing this is, let me just check something. 7 over 8. 6, divided by 2. You're going to put this exact thing in your calculator. So again, in your calculator, there's this A, B, C button, right? That is the over button. So you're going to put, let's put this in red. 7 and then that ABC button, let's make this smaller, 2, right? 7 and you're going to have this. When you press the ABC button, you're going to see this, 8 plus 1 over 6 divided by 2 over 9. And when you put this in your calculator, the answer you'll get is equal to 158, which is 1 and 5 over 8. All right, this would be your answer. Now, this is one way. If you want to do it manually, again, the first thing that you need to remember is when there's a combination of operations, that is multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, you need to follow BODMAS. There's no brackets, there's no off, there's no I forget the D. B-O-D, BODMAS, right? There's no brackets and there's no off, but there is division. So the first thing you'll be doing, if you're doing it manually, 1 over 6 divided by 2 over 9. Right, divided by 2 over 9. When you're dividing fractions, it's going to be 1 over 6. That division sign is going to change to multiplication and you're going to flip. Instead of 2 over 9, it's going to be 9 over 2. Then you're going to compare numerators and denominators. What could go into 1 and 6? It's 1, so you don't really need to look at the 1, but you look at the next numerator, which is 9. What could go into 9 and 6 at the same time? We have 3. 3 could go into 9 3 times, 3 could go into 6 2 times. So your answer here would be 3 over 4. So now your question becomes 7 over 8 plus 3 over 4. When you're adding fractions, you look at the denominators. If they are the same or different, in this case it's different, you need to find your LCM. What is your LCM of 8 and 4? What is the prime number that could go into 8 and 4 at the same time? 2. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 4 is 2. Then you use 2 again. 2 into 4 is 2. 2 into 2 is 1. Then you use 2 again. 1, 1. When we get 1, 1 at the end, your LCM is going to be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. Right? And you compare the denominators with your LCM. 8 into 8, 1. So you multiply the numerator of that fraction by 1. 4 into 8, you multiply that. 4 into 8 is 2. You multiply the numerator of that fraction by 2. So that is 7 plus 6. 7 plus 6 is 13 over 8. This is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. So you ask yourself how many times 8 could go into 13. 8 could go into 13 one time. And what is the remainder? 5 over 8. And that is how you get your answer of 1 and 5/8. This question here, again, it says use calculator. Otherwise, I would say use calculator. Right? You put, this is what you're going to put. This over sign means to divide. You're going to put 8 divided by open bracket 0.4 close bracket to the power of. Now, there is a x to the power of 3 that is to the power of 3, or you will see y to the power of x, or this little a symbol that looks like this, upside down V. All of that is to the power. Now, if you use y to the power of x and or this button, right, depending on which calculator, it will tell you which one to use, right? You have to put the number 3. However, this x to the power of 3 means it is to the power of 3 already. You don't need to write 3, right? So when you put this in your calculator, you're going to have 8 divided by open bracket 0.4 close bracket to the power of 3. This is equal to 125 if you use a calculator. Right? If you want to solve it, which I don't recommend, this is 1 mark, and if you could use a calculator, do that. Right? But if you're good at these things and you want to show you're working, it will be 8 over 0.4 to the power 3, which is 8 over 0.4 multiplied by 0.4 multiplied by 0.4, right? That would be 8 divided by 0.4 multiplied by 0.4. First off, 4 4s are 16, 16 by 4 is equal to is 64, so 0.4 multiplied by 0.4 multiplied by 0.4. This is 0.064, and then always when you're dividing decimals, always make your divisor, that is the number you're dividing it by, a whole number. So you're going to shift it 1, 2, 3. Now if you shift 1, 2, 3 times on the bottom, you have to shift 3 times on top. 1, 2, 3. There are no places, there are no numbers there, so you fill it in with 0. So this will now become 8,000 divided by 64. When you divide this, you're going to get 125. Right? 0, 80, 64 into 81, then that is 80 minus 64. Then your remainder is 16, right? 160. 64 into 160 is 2, right? Right, minus 160. Then you have remainder 32. 64 and 320 is 5. Again, I don't recommend this method. It is quite long and too much working for 1 mark when you could just simply use your calculator. Right? And both of them you'll get 125 at the end. Alright, part 3, the value of the square root. Now this, guys, use a calculator. What I would say is when you're using your calculator, just put your brackets. So this is what you're going to write in your calculator. I'll put this in red. You're going to put the square root sign, open bracket, 26.8, close bracket. Then subtract 2.5 in open and close brackets to the power of, remember that button y to the power of x, or the button that looks like an upside down V. That means to the power of, you're going to put 3, and then, hold on, let me erase this so that I could have space. For the power of, again, it would be either y to the x or x to the y, depending on what calculator I have, or a button, a knob that looks like an upside down V. And then you're going to put 3, and it's 3 over 2. Remember that A, B, C button. You're going to click that. You're going to have this. Then you're going to put 2. This is exactly what you're putting in your calculator. So let's put it in our calculator now. So you have the square root of 26.8 minus 2.5 to the power of 3 over 2. And you're going to press equal, and the answer that you get would be equal. This is what you're going to have in your calculator. 1.224024567. But they told you to put the answer to correct to 2 decimal places. So we're going to count 2 digits, after a decimal point, right? 1, 2. So a line is going to be drawn between the 2 and the 4. The number after the line that is drawn is less than 5, so the number stays as is. So this is going to be 1.22 to 2 decimal places. And that would be the answer for part 2. All right, let's do B. Children go to a rodeo camp during the Easter holiday. Miss Reka buys bananas and oranges for the children at the camp. Bananas cost $3.85 per kilogram. Now, let's underline that there. So we're going to write bananas, or B is equal to, bananas one kilogram is equals to $3.85. That's what that statement means. Ms. Reka buys 25 kilograms of bananas and receives a discount of 12%. How much money does she spend on bananas? So let's find out the cost of the bananas before your discount, right? So if 1 kilogram is $3.85, therefore 25 kilograms would be $3.85 multiplied by 25, right? So let's multiply 3.85 multiplied by 25. You are going to get $96.25. That is before your discount. Now, before your discount or anything, what percentage would $96.25 be? It would be the original percent is 100. So this here is 100%. So we want to find out discounted price, which would be 100 minus 12, which is equal to 88%. So we're basically finding out what is 88%. So if 100% is equals to $96.25, then 1%, remember, then is always defined for 1 unless your first line tells you what 1 is equal to. So, for example, in bananas, if 1 kilogram is $3.85, then would be how much I'm trying to find out for. Right? They already told you what 1 kilogram is equal to. Right? This is then would only be what 1 is equal to if your first line does not tell you what 1 is equal to. Yeah? So 1 is equal to your right hand side divided by your left hand side. That is $96.25 divided by 100. This is your left hand side. This is your right hand side. It is from your if line, right? And therefore, we want to find out what is 88%. That is the discounted price. It's $96.25 over 100 multiplied by 88 over 1. Right, you use a calculator. Divide this by 100 multiplied by 88. You are going to get an answer of $84.70, and that would be the answer for this question. How much money does she spend on bananas? $84.70. Part 2. Part 2 says Ms. Reka spends $165.31 inclusive of sales tax on 15% on oranges. Calculate the original price of calculate the original price of oranges. So this price here is inclusive of tax of 15. So we know what percentage would be inclusive of 15. So inclusive of 15%. Price inclusive of 15 would be 100 plus 15, which is equal to 115%. Right? And your original price, that is before any increase or decrease, would be the original price percentage would be 100%. So basically, they're telling you if 115% is equal to 165 to 51, what is 100%? Right. This question, if then, you find for then would be to find for 1%, which is equals to 165.31 divided by 115. And therefore, we have to find the original price, which is 100%. 100%. Now, if 1% is 165,000 divided by 115, therefore 100% would be equal to 100 multiplied by 165.31 over 115. Right? And when you multiply that, you are going to get an answer of 7478261. Now we know we're talking about money, so money only has 2 digits after a decimal point. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then you draw a line. Right? Anything after the line, the number after the line, to see if it is 5 or more. 7 is more than 5, so you have to add 1 to the digit in front of the line. So your answer is going to be $143.75. Alright, and that would be the sum. Okay, so part 3 says the ratio of number of bananas to oranges. So the ratio that they're giving you is bananas to oranges, yeah? This is 2 to 3, so therefore it's 2 parts bananas and 3 parts oranges. That's what it means, right? Furthermore, there are 24 more oranges than bananas. So if we find out the difference in ratio, DIFFERENCE, the difference of number of parts, which is 3 minus 2, you could say that is 1 part. And they told you that the difference between oranges and bananas is 24. So you could say that 1 part is equal to 24 fruits, whatever that fruit that might be. We know, now the last part is calculate the number of bananas Miss Rika bought. Now, how much parts is bananas? 2 parts. So if we know 1 part is 24, then 2 parts would be 24 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 48. And we know this is bananas we're talking about, so we can put 48 bananas. And that's how we would get this answer. And that is the end of May, June 2020.